Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as your ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Man, this is sad for me, man. It was a week ago I picked up the RV here, and we headed out for Canton. This thing has literally been the mothership and our home for the last week, and now I'm taking it back to Rodney, who we rented it from. And boy, do I feel blessed to have been able to use her and blessed to have done the things that we've done. But I'm also happy to be back home and ready for the grind that will be for the next 30 days getting the NFL season going for our Cowboys. You guys know I'm always been a guy who likes to understand the history, because history will also help lead you in the future. You can look at things that worked in the past to help better make decisions for the future. And being around all of those great Dallas Cowboys players and being around Jimmy Johnson and thinking about what worked for our team in the past that won us Super Bowls and looking at where we are right now, it's amazing the things that I learned. You know, when you think about Roger Staubach's great. But Roger Staubach's credited being in the system that helped him with his game, having the coaches that understood how to call the plays, having the receivers like Drew Pearson that could catch the passes, understanding that they had a great defense that would go out and stop the opponent and give them the ball, that it wasn't just one guy. And when you look at the 70s Dallas Cowboys, the team of my youth, we had a great quarterback in Dak. We had a great running back in Tony Dorsett. We had great wide receivers from Drew Pearson to Tony Thrill Hill, Preston Pearson, no relation. You had the doomsday defense, and having all of that, still, they went to 5 Super Bowls, only winning 2. We had greatness. You can look at all the Hall of Famers from the 70s on both sides of the ball. It's an embarrassment of riches. You can translate that to the 80s, and we see already that we've got the coach from Jimmy Johnson, we've got the playmaker, we got Troy Aikman, we got Emmitt Smith, we got Charles Haley, and we should get Darren Woodson should be next. That team had the same chemistry that we had in the 70s. Great quarterback, great wide receivers, great running back, and an incredible offensive line. So as we look at this Dallas Cowboys group, as we look at what we have so far, we're still missing some of the pieces of those great teams. We got the quarterback that can get the ball around there. We got the running back. We truly have the receivers. Now, you could debate on whether or not we have the tight end. We had one in Jason Witten in his younger years, but we had Doug Crosby, and then we had Jay Novacek that were the security blanket. We'll have to wait and see if Dalton Schultz and Blake Jarwin can play that role for Dak to be that security blanket for him for this offense. We have to wonder, too, is the offensive line going to be that great wall of Dallas like it was during the 90s or even back in the 70s? There's questions there because, we still have a second-year center, Tyler Badge. He played well. Tyron Smith looks to be in great shape right now, but Tyron Smith hasn't played a full season since before 2016. Lyle Collins looks in great shape, but he's coming off of a year that he missed. We know Zach Martin is legendary. Seems like Connor Williams has got a little bit of nasty in him. And with the Joneses not going through and extending contracts, basically saying you're going to have to earn your next contract through this season, you think that Connor Williams, who was fighting with Aaron Donald in practice, is definitely trying to be that guy. If it's not going to be for the Cowboys, he's going to make sure he gets paid well elsewhere. So we've got the makings of that great offense that we've had through those other generations. The big question mark, of course, is how will this defense react? I don't expect this to be the 90s number one defense that it was in Super Bowl years. I'm not expecting this defense right now to be the doomsday defense. But that's where you've got to look at it and say, that's the biggest question mark out there. And what I want you guys to understand, so many of y'all will say that the quarterback, that everything relies on just one guy. Dak sucks. You're not going to win a quarterback with Dak, win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. He's Dak trash guy. But understand, football is a game of, as Steve Spurrier would say, pitching and catching. You can pitch the ball. You can pitch the ball perfectly. But if they ain't catching it, it don't matter. It don't matter. And Roger Staubach literally said that. I can throw the passes. But if the guy on the other end isn't catching the football, I'm not in the Hall of Fame. And that's where we need to start getting to be understanding more about football. I think too many of you guys listen to the four-letter network too much. And instead of really digging deep and understanding the full weight of the game, understanding that takeaways are as good as gold, that if you have a defense that takes the ball away, that it can be as much as a 14-point swing, because it stops the momentum of the other team of scoring possibly a touchdown. It could be a pick six where you're getting 7 more points. It could be, I've got my team in great position. It's an advantage for the offense, because now the defense is not ready. They're on the sidelines taking a water break, listening to the coach, and all of a sudden they hear, defense! And they're grabbing their helmet, they're running out on the field. And this is why, after a turnover, you see more big plays made, because the offense knows we're going up top. They're not ready. And that is one of those things that, for most people, they don't understand. That if I get an extra play or two because of drive or two because of a turnover, that it can be the difference of winning and losing. It's demoralizing. And that's where the defense helps out the offense. Now, the problem for the Cowboys, for the most part, since the 90s has been, the offense has had to help out the defense by trying to keep them off the field. The offense has had to protect those guys, that the defense wasn't able to take their share for most of the time. And this has been the problem of why the Cowboys have not been able to get to the promised land, have not been able to have that playoff success like you would like. We need this defense to be able to help lead this team. Can't have one side doing all the work and then not getting it from the other side. For me, as I look at what's transpired from training camp, I look at the changes in attitudes, I look at the aggression that we're seeing from these young players, I am beginning to love what I see. I think this is going to be a really good season for a multitude of reasons. First thing, Jerry Jones, I think, has finally come to grips with his mistakes, and maybe, just maybe, the football gods will release the curse. You may say I'm crazy, but I believe in karma. And the karma for Jerry Jones, because of what happened in the 90s, because of his ego and arrogance, has been part of the problem for our team. Sorry, I had a call that came through there. I'm gonna go to hands-free. But the question will be for this team, and this team will only go as far as the defense can go. If you think about 2014, and like I said, I don't expect this team to be reincarnation, at least not right away, of the doomsday defense. But some of the dynamics have changed on defense, partially because of the rules that have changed as well. This team, with the aggression that we're getting, with this being an attacking defense, with this being a defense that will come at you and hit you, this defense is beginning to get a bit of it seems like they're beginning to get a little bit of that edge, like the Legion of Boom. You think about the Legion of Boom, the way that they played, and I'm not saying we necessarily have a Richard Sherman trash talking kind of guy, talking about garbage after receivers, but you can see that they're going to be going for you. You think about, I remember talking to Richard, who was talking about Mike Pouncey could be in the Hall of Fame maybe before Ben Roethlisberger, but seeing Gallimore truck that guy, and seeing him talking about putting the pads on and smacking them down, that these are guys that are going to be very physical, and Dan Quinn preaching fast and physical, and having so many young guys that are out there that are now having to fight for their contracts in a position on this team. I think that this is the best thing that Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys have actually done. They got rid of all the old players. They haven't looked at signing old guys. I think that Brent Urban is one of the elder statesmen out there, I think at 30, that this team will definitely get there. If they can be the ball-hawking, take away the football team. In 2014, we were only 19th in total defense, but we were second taking away the football, which gave Tony Romo that offense that could chew up the clock with DeMarco Murray more opportunities. And we were literally a catch-no-catch away from the NFC Championship game. I think that we have the makings of all that. So that's just my thoughts. When I'm driving, especially by myself, I do a lot of thinking and things and get very retrospective. And I like to kind of get those thoughts out. And I'm very retrospective about leaving the RV. This trip has truly solidified my desire to actually have one. And I believe if you want something, if you want to achieve something, you have to put it out to the universe first.
There's
Second,
a speed trap ahead.
You got to bust your ass to try and make it reality. That even a guy who went undrafted through 17 rounds can end up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame makes you realize anything is possible with hard work. Hope you guys are having a great day. Can't wait to see Hard Knocks tonight. I think we'll be doing a live stream reaction show. And I hope you guys join in. And I will catch you later. Peace.